Greetings, fellow nerds. Welcome to another MTG Nerdfo video. We are continuing on Kaldheim Standard. We started off this week going strong with some Is It Giants. If you haven't seen that video, go ahead, check it out. It'll be in the description. Probably right over my head as well. If you want to see how this channel is starting Kaldheim, it's going to be great. Today, we are going over Golgari Deathtouch. But as you know, I got to ask, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and consider hitting that subscribe button because you're going to see some fun stuff. We're going to do some wacky standard stuff. We're going to play some meta decks as well, some variants, and teaching you how to upgrade certain meta decks. Merchant's kind of following me along. I pushed for Heroic Intervention. If you've been on the channel for a while, you know I pushed for Heroic Intervention. He started using it too. So I think, we do stuff like that on this channel. So again, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, hit that alarm bell, whatever helps you find me a little bit easier in the future. And of course, my birthday is coming up mid-February, so if you want to help me out, give me a nice birthday gift trying to get to 200 subs, because that'd be cool. Really would appreciate that. But today we're going to go over Golgari Deathtouch. We all know this deck was a thing when Fynn came out, and I wanted to this is kind of like a budget version because you don't need to spend all your wild cards. Give it a couple test runs, made a couple changes, and here's what I came up with. So let me show you what we're working with. Playing Bloodchief's Thirst, great removal spell. I've actually shied away with it just because I like other removal spells, but we have enough slots for this card to fit in, so we're playing 3 of those. 3 Foul Knights, has Deathtouch, and of course the nice draw ability if we draw him late. To Drew Blightblade, very cheap Deathtouch. Didn't go heavy on the elves, but because that's a little bit more of its own archetype, but I'm still playing around with him just in case. Heartless Act for the removal. I'm a big pusher for this. Fynn the Fangbearer, of course. This is another alternate win condition. We bring them to 10 poison counters. We got Shovel, of course. Bit of a number with Heartless Act, but as long as you put it on the correct card, you'll be okay. Of course, this card is pretty solid, and I would say more importantly, it has 3 toughness, which, gets around Bonecrusher Giant. Hooded Blightfang, another win condition. Well, it's the win condition, get our opponent to 0, but it speeds up the clock. So really good card. Nighthawk Scavenger, of course, very hard to deal with by itself. So of course, fits in here. I am playing Eat to Extinction, so this is one of my removal spells. I like that it surveils, even though that's not what it says. It's basically surveilling. It's instant speed, so we can, hold it up. So I really like this card. It definitely fits in this deck pretty well. Questing Beast, of course, aggressive, has Deathtouch. And I did decide to keep the 2 Garuks. I was wondering if I had room for it, and it turns out I did. So I think for a top end, he's pretty good. So, and he's Golgari colors. I know he doesn't make Deathtouch, but if we get the emblem off with Deathtouch Trample, man, that's a good feeling. And then we got Symbiosis and Agadeem's Awakening for the Modal Lands, Castle Lockwings, 4 Swamps, 5 4s, 2 Temple of Miladies. Not spending my wild cards to match these because we're going to be crafting a lot of things for this season, and 3 Fabled Passage. So as you can see, I'm not playing the Golgari pathway. I just realized I didn't really need it. Not with this kind of deck. You're not you're not tricolor. You're not, there's no 3 color, and 1 card. It's 2, and usually you can be okay with 3 Fabled Passage. So, yeah, I mean, this is a pretty decent hand. I'm gonna keep it. Just get the castle tapped for now. I don't think I need to get the Blightblade out turn 1. So we'll see how this goes. We do need to draw a land to trigger our Blightfangs, which, Alright, I don't mind drawing a Fynn. And we do get to have a Bloodchief's Thirst. Of course, a sorcery speed. It's not quite in our favor, but... So we're playing Rakdos. Alright, so... I'm going to discard a Bloodchief's Thirst here. Alright, as I suspected, we did not draw a land, but that is okay. Probably trade here. Yep. That's okay. I knew we weren't going to draw a land. It's pretty common on this channel to get... Well, no, I'm not going to say pretty common. We were very lucky with Is It Giants last time we played, so I'm not going to make that claim quite yet, but doesn't surprise me one bit that we didn't draw land regardless, so. Alright, okay. I think we can get rid of Bloodchief's Thirst again. we don't draw a land, we'll probably auto scoop. Alright. I'm gonna put Shovel to the bottom. Yeah, we're already too far behind, honestly, for this deck. Just things drawn at the wrong time, honestly, so it is what it is. You work with what you have. So don't freak out when this stuff kind of happens. Just, you know, let the games play out, see what we can do here. I mean, Rakdos doesn't have like the best defense against Deathtouch, so we're not out of this. And we got a Castle Lockwing, so we're definitely behind. We've definitely discarded a lot of cards, but you know, I think we're okay. Okay, I'm actually gonna pay for the upkeep, which is kind of bizarre because it actually makes sense. So this is not the best Wither Crown. So I don't want to sack this creature because I still get the trigger off the Blight Flames. So doing 0 damage, but drain for 2 is pretty solid. I'm probably gonna Heartless Act whatever drops out here. Looks like he's thinking about playing like another Wither Crown. Wither Crown's an odd choice for a removal spell, honestly. I would just straight up play the Heartless Act. Yeah, sure, I'll take it. It's not a big deal. I'll take 2 and drain for 2. I mean, sure. Okay, that's fine. Decline and decline. Okay, that was a good draw. This is weird. This is like the most... I've never seen Wither Crowns like played in Standard. They're very good in Draft, don't get me wrong, but I'm not sure they quite belong in, especially when we're draining for 4 still. So we're still speeding up the clock and we're gaining a whole bunch, so... Alright, now he's making a sack a creature. Alright, sure. This is such an odd deck. I'm not really sure what to kind of make of it. And I'm just going to still hold up the Heartless Act here, so... Yep. This is definitely strange. Not really... This is interesting. It's a nice twist. Trying to... I guess they're experimenting with Rakdos. That makes sense. It's a very good archetype. Decline. Ooh. Could do this for 2. It's actually not bad. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do it. Because I can get 2 things. 2 very good things. So now we have 2 win conditions happening at the same time. Yeah, even if he plays the Kroxa, it's still like not great because the Kroxa will die to something, so he uses a Bloodchief's Thirst on a 0/4. Like, this is great. Alright. Yeah, we're looking solid, guys. I'm not worried. I was definitely worried, but looks like the opponent also got a little screwed, and they don't have the best matchup against us. So now they're at 4 poison counters. Also good. Yeah, I think we got this. Even if they play the Kroxa, we're just going to remove it right away and don't have like... Okay, sure. I'm going to Heartless Act in response to the trigger. So I discard nothing. You, sir, get nothing. This is so bizarre. I just don't understand Wither Crowns. Oh my gosh, that was also a very good draw. Decline. Oh, we drew a new one. I guess we could have. Could do this for... Huh, interesting. Sure, I'll just play a new one. What the heck? Guess it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna choose this one. Yeah, this is super bizarre. And we can do this for 3 to get one of our Hooded Blightflings back and just get that kicking. I do like the Skyclave Shade. I don't think it fits into this type of deck, though. This type of utility. Like, I think Skyclave Shade is like a pure aggro deck. Like, it's like you're committed to just going full steam ahead. You know, you're playing removal spells, like actual removal spells, I guess I should say. Yeah, see, again, Kroxa, not like super good. I'm gonna do Castle Lock Wing to the trigger. I know I'm gonna take an additional one, but yeah, that's easy. Alright. That was... Alright, drew another land. No big deal. As long as we're getting them out. And then I'm gonna do this. Should I do it now or should I wait? I guess I should wait. I'm curious to see what he'll do. Yeah, perfect. Now we can do it for 2 with the full effect happening. Alright, do this for 3. Academ's Awakening, a very good card. Auto pay. And good luck. You're dead. Man, Fynn the Fangbearer just warped the meta, honestly, for... Like, it made Hooded Blightflink so good because it just gave Deathtouch another win condition, which is insane. Alright, we beat Rakdos experimenting with new things. Yeah, I mean, I guess Wither Crown is pretty good, just depending on what type of deck you're facing against. But in a Golgari Deathtouch matchup, it is just by far the worst because you're still getting all the effects and triggers. So that was a great game 1 for us. Probably, I don't know how we would do against regular Rakdos. I think more or less we'd be struggling a lot harder if they were playing the standard removal spells like Heartless Act. So that game could have been very different for all we know. Oof. No green source, huh? Let's mulligan then. Yep, we can keep this. We can definitely keep this. And we don't need 2 to draw a Blightblade. So, not like the best first hand, but it is a first hand nonetheless. Of course, we're going to be a little behind because everything's coming in tapped or not in our favor, but that's okay. Actually, we're going to be like 2 turns behind unless we draw a Swamp here, so on our next turn. So I think the safe thing is just to play the Castle Lockwing and just suck it up. Yeah, we're just getting a little unfortunate with our starting land draws, but that's okay. Looks like this is a Rune Crab or an Opt, because there's a slight pause. Oh, okay, he's going with that play. Alright, cool. Now he knows what we're playing. That actually worked out pretty decently. We are going to take some life here, but that's okay. Yeah, we're going to end up taking 6 total, which really sucks, but what can you do, right? Alright, here's the Rune Crab. It's actually good for us because it forces them to block. Because we just have so many threats, like, and they don't stick on the board. Like, they're originally Great Walls, yes. Oh, well, you know what? Life is now a resource, so I am going to push the clock. I don't mind paying. It's gonna block there. Yeah, against straight up mono blue mill, life is now a resource, so I didn't mind playing this, paying 3. I probably honestly would have played the Tudru Blightblade, but this is much better. So getting a little lucky with our matchups, honestly. So it's kind of nice. Next turn we could do all 3 of these things, which is fantastic. And I don't utilize the graveyard, except with Aganim's Awakening. So that's not entirely true what I just said. So actually him milling us if we draw another Aganim's Awakening could be huge. He is speeding up the clock a lot, though. Like, wow, this is fast. Okay. Yeah, he's speeding up the clock, but luckily he is forced to chump block, and then those things die. Because, you know, unless he wants to get poison countered to death, we're looking really solid. So, I'm pretty happy with this, honestly. I'll probably just Bloodchief's Thirst the Rune Crab because it buys us a little bit of time. He's looking, so looks like he has some sort of bounce spell he's considering. That was also a very nice pickup. So let's first... well, he might have a Planeswalker. Well, let's not auto-tap like that, deck. Okay, so let's actually Heartless Act here. That way we can just hold up the Bloodchief's Thirst for whatever reason when we get in there. And probably, again, he's going to block the Fynn to not take poison counters. Yep, blocks with the 0-4. Makes sense. Still get 2 poison counters. And now we got 3 Death Touchers on the board. He's only got 1 blocker, so he'll have to put up another blocker. It's nice to cycle and neutralize. Makes sense. I've only got 1 card in hand. Needs to utilize his options a little bit here. Alright, he really speeds up the clock for us. Ooh. Alright, let's just get this out of the way then. No need to cast with quickly. Alright. One more hit and he's dead, so he has to Cyclonic Rift, which is not legal. Rune Crab doesn't do it, my friend. Good game. Yeah, mono blue mill is hard to pull off, but, you know, I commend you for trying. Which is, yeah, that's still funny. The Rune Crab still died. Woo! And they were almost at 0 anyway, so quick, easy game for us. Alright, looking good. Yeah, mono blue mill unfortunately does not work. They just don't have a lot of support going. I mean, they have the support, they just don't. It's not good against the current meta, even like off-wall decks. I've been pushing for Teamer Ramp probably the hardest. Teamer mill adventure, like that's probably your best, honestly, way of milling out your opponent if you're going straight mill, and it gives you a solid plan B. I might revisit that deck, honestly, just see how it fares against the current meta. But yeah, we're looking really good. We're going first. No green source once again, but I'm gonna actually keep this because we do have things to play. So I'm just gonna say, yeah, sure, why not. It's kind of hard to say no to this hand because it's like we can still play stuff, and if we draw a green source, that's pretty solid. Like that. I like that. That was probably the best draw, and we got a Fynn right off the top, so looking good. Probably has like a removal spell incoming here, but that's okay. The dead weight kind of thing going on. Yeah. This will be a little bit harder. I'm gonna land the Hooded Blightfang. Because a 1/4 is a little bit harder for his deck to deal with. And then we can eat to extinction if we feel like that's necessary. I'm not sure if it is, but it's just something to consider. Oh, right. Ephemia is pretty solid. Nice. Ephemia is... Oh, did he decide to keep this? Alright, he decides to keep the Mogi's Favor. Very interesting. Well, let's get rid of Ephemia then. Let's kind of... make him regret not using Ephemia. Play that. Trigger, and then if he blocks... Perfect. Like this. And we'll play that tapped. Alright, we're looking pretty solid here. I'm not worried one bit. Mogi's Favor is a little bit expensive right now. Ooh, gets an Ephemia off. Okay. Alright. Got that going. That's actually not like too bad. Oh, we could play 3 things here. That's really hard to pass up, isn't it? Yeah, let's just play everything. Why not? Speed up the clock a tad bit. I don't mind trading here. It doesn't even block. Wow, I'm very surprised. Alright, he's giving us a lot of options to work with, which is fantastic. Alright, play second Ephemia to get another zombie. Makes sense. Decides to not do that. He might regret that right now. I'm just not going to let him... let's graveyard that. Don't need that. Trigger, trigger, trigger. And we also have the poison counters going for us. That makes sense. That's a trade. Alright, you need a flyer. Gosh, Fynn the Fangbearer just breaks the meta. Honestly. Like, we're beating a, you know, pretty common version of mono black enchantments. Like, yeah, this game is ours. Oh my gosh. And another Hooded Blightfang to boot. Let's attack with everybody. Woo! Look at that. That's actually insane. Yep, you're still dead to poison counters. And he was almost dead too. Jeez, we almost killed him twice over. This is insane. Oh my gosh. Well, that's a good way to end a video, ending on getting back to plat in the season. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, it's just this deck, you don't need the blight way, the pathway. Of course, you could, if you feel like you can spend the wild cards. You know, again, I'm gonna try a lot of different decks, which is why I'm saving them. But as you can see, we didn't really need it. Of course, there were times where it could have been great. We could have sped up the clock, but honestly, this deck is so self-functioning. Like you just remove threats. You know, play your stuff, make way for your Deathtouch creatures, kill them with Hooded Blightfang or Fynn the Fangbearer. Great card, great deck. I would love to play this in paper form, and it's like relatively cheap too. Like it's not playing like crazy expensive cards. Like Fynn the Fangbearer is an uncommon, so like you're not going to be spending a whole lot of bucks if you're going to play it in paper form. So, well, I hope you enjoyed that. If you enjoyed that, again, subscribe, like, alarm bell. Just helps you find me a little bit easier in the future. Most of my watchers are actually not subscribers, so that might be one of you. So, you know, if you want to see me do more goofy stuff like this, play better meta decks, be sure to hit any of those buttons. Right now up top, YouTube is showing a video of my most recent upload, and right below that is a video that YouTube thinks you specifically like. So go ahead, check those out, explore their channel. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for being part of the family. I'll see you for your next Nerd Fill.